This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Okay, so you want to dive into the updates, Pasqualina,
Sure.
on Art Walk?
Yeah, so we just had a very successful art walk. It was a number of events all throughout downtown Easthampton that were participating. It was very well attended. It felt like the September art walk always feels, which is very back to school. People are happy to be out and about. But it was a really lovely evening, and despite the rain, I know a lot of people were nervous because of the weather, but people really came out and it was great.
Awesome.
Are those monthly, Pasqualina?
It's the first Saturday of every month from 4 to 7 p.m. and there's no art walk in January. We also had I would call it a successful Art in the Garden event, given the tornado warnings. Like promptly at 3 p.m., we were like 1 hour into we had a whole rain plan. We were like, yes, we're moving forward. Did not know, obviously, that a tornado warning would be a part of the weather. Road closures, power lines down. There was like a lot of...
Wow.
The gardens were happy, and people were just in really good spirits. Like all the artists, all of the art that's like inside art was indoors. Like we just planned for it to rain, so that was at Galaxy, and it was very sweet. And then all of the gardens were open, and all of the gardens had art in them that's like outdoor art, and there was a steady stream of people. I think there was one garden in particular that didn't have very many people beforehand. Marcia's garden was quite quiet, she said. And then I happened to be at her house when like the tornado warnings came in and the downpour started. So she decided to close midday. But everybody else talked about it being very well attended, and then people came out after the rain. So we definitely want to do it again. Ava and Sophie and I, my colleagues, who helped to organize it all, we're going to be having a debrief this week, and we're going to talk about how to do this again. And I think we really would like to do it in the spring. Get back on the first Saturday of June, but have a rain plan, because last time it got rained out.
I have an observation
Yes.
or a question. I was looking at the flyer for Art in the Garden,
Yeah.
and it says that it's being held at various locations. But it doesn't say on this where those locations are.
Well,
Did you have to
that
pick up a
was
map
just
somewhere?
a save the date.
Oh,
And what you didn't see
yeah,
was
yeah, I saw that.
the lineup. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Here, there's a map, and then all the
okay.
artists and all the gardens and
Okay.
locations.
I didn't see that, so.
Yeah.
And do people volunteer their gardens? Is that how it?
Well, the way we did it this year was we kind of curated it. We just wanted to do something very small scale so that it's like easier to
Process.
raise funds
Yeah.
for next year, and we can kind of learn, and it'll help guide our decisions.
Yeah.
So we reached out to people that we knew, and we had 2 areas of downtown, like a cluster of 3 gardens and a cluster of 2 gardens. And
Nice.
so we just kind of, curated what worked for us. We invited artists, we paired them.
Nice.
We also did an open call just to gauge interest, but we didn't really have the capacity to do like a citywide event, so we just stuck to what we had planned.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Great.
stay tuned, because the response to it was very positive. I talked to a lot of people at Art Walk that had gone on,
Okay.
and
I got the tail end, so it was like kind of after the rain, so it was pretty quiet everywhere I went. But it was nice to do, and I could see in better weather, or if I had been earlier, it would have been, really a little more lively.
Is the art for sale or just it's displayed, that's it?
it varied from place to place.
Okay.
Poetry?
Go ahead.
You wanna, are you done with the?
I'm done with that.
Okay. How about the poetry?
So I'm working with the poet laureate Carolyn Zykowski on an event that she's really organizing at Park Hill Orchard on Thursday, September 18th. The rain date is Friday, September 19th, from 5 till 7. And she has put together a lineup of, I think, 5 poets who will be reading. And we're talking with them about having like a year-long installation. I called it a poetry, where people can like, there's a little, engagement where people can like tie their poems to a tree. And
Jam.
yeah, and Russell and Elaine have been very supportive and happy it's gonna be in the place on Park Hill Orchard that's most accessible, so like right at the farm stand. We're just keeping it very, very simple. Yay, our quorum maker.
I'm just sitting in.
Oh,
Fun, hi Felicia.
Apparently, there's another meeting here at 6.
Oh, really?
In here,
In here?
That's what I was told.
She
no.
told me that we had the
No.
space.
Fighting
City
for it.
council got moved to the basement.
Basement, all right. Well, I'll be leaving before 6 then, but
Okay.
thanks for letting me sit in.
Anyway. All right, so, they're doing a poetry tree, and then
poetry event. People are presenting their poetry. There's also gonna be an open mic.
open mic, okay.
The installation was separate from
Yeah.
that, you mean, yeah.
Yeah, it was just sort of like a little add-on.
Oh, okay, that's
No,
not like,
it's like
okay.
5 poets presenting their
Okay,
work.
okay, sorry, it was just, poetry. Poetry.
Oh, that's cute.
Like I'm like locked into that. Okay, never mind.
We know how to distract you now. Poetry.
All right, so we're just, getting the updates. Public art?
We have a lot going on in public art. We've got a lot going on. One thing, we had the Have a Heart for Public Art fundraiser. We raised, this is back in March, we raised $5,000 and it was for a mosaic mural in the city. So we are talking about that and thinking about locations, thinking about what we want to do. We also had some community members. Bonnie was one of them, along with Thelma, who came and proposed the possibility of a mural to honor veterans in the city of Easthampton that I shared with the Public Art Committee. People were very receptive. We talked about there being other projects on the docket, but that was something that we felt could be a really wonderful project that we would have to fundraise for. We'd have to talk about it. And in the meantime, our interim mayor has proposed a mural competition in Easthampton.
Fun.
And I also brought that to the Public Art Committee, and it sort of evolved into this idea of a mural festival, like a public art festival, that we would have to do quite a bit of fundraising for. But there are different tiers of ways in which people could be involved. So there could be an open call, mural locations, but then also like there was a whole chalk, like sidewalk
Oh,
chalk
fun.
mural component that like lots of people could be involved in. There could be like community painting days leading up to it. So it's quite, you know, it's sort of like a larger scale, it would be a larger scale event, but the committee is very interested in this. And so at first we were thinking about having the mosaic mural and a veterans mural, like be a part of that, like let's say in 2027. But we all felt really strongly that like the Public Art Committee has been very active and there's been a lot of visibility each year for the last number of years. And we decided we did not want to quiet that down, that we want to keep art very relevant. We want to keep ECA very relevant. We want to keep art very visible and active in the community. So we want to prioritize the mosaic mural project or mosaic public art, and then looking at the veterans mural, whether it makes sense to do that as a standalone or part of the festival. So it's kind of we're in the works, but people are excited about what's going on. Also, an update, this could fall under public art, it could fall under Easthampton Cultural Council report. I'll just do a little intro and then I'll let you fill in the blanks, but at previous meetings, we were talking about the utility box painted by Amy Johnquist that had been removed as part of the Union Street redesign, putting in the new, I'm just gonna call it a utility box.
Traffic control box.
Traffic control box. And so the public art, ECA's Public Art Committee has come up with an idea to transform, so Amy Johnquist, it's called Power to the People.
Okay.
It's been at the Highway Department. And we are talking about the possibility of converting it into a comment box.
What?
Yup, where people could write down
Oh.
and put in their ideas for what they want to see in the, for arts and culture in the city, that it would be, you know, kind of, we'd keep it like that. Now, we thought ideally we'd want to put it on the grounds of 50 Payson by the entrance. So as a real power to the people, like you come to City Hall, you can express how you feel about arts and culture. So I thought, oh, this is going to be a real tough sell. This was going back a couple months. And then interim mayor comes in, he's proposing a public art festival. So I thought, well, maybe he'll be receptive to this idea. And sure enough, and by the way, we talked to Amy Johnquist. She loves the idea.
Who's Amy?
The artist who had originally painted it, like, you know, we didn't want to go too far if she was like, don't do that for whatever reasons. She loved the idea. And the current moment in all of this is like we went out, I went around with Salem Derby, we did a little walkthrough, we picked a place, the public art team everybody was happy, and I just have to run it by Greg. I made this little mock-up, Greg got the mock-up, and he said, it's not a no. He didn't have time, he was getting ready for something else, but that's very good news. You know, we'll see, but it's not a no. Sounds good. And then he and I said we would catch up this week and kind of go outside and take a look, and he'll know if like a gas line's running underneath or whatever. And we'll figure it out. But it sounds like everyone wants to figure it out. There will be some expenses for like to refurbish it. It's kind of faded already somehow. But one of the members of the Public Art Committee also spoke to a local metal worker who would do the work to make it so that this could be a comment box. It'd be cute.
If you make it a comment box and put a slot in it, make the slot very narrow.
Yes.
Because you're gonna wind up with all kinds of garbage. in it.
Yes, we did talk about
Wait.
that.
We talked about
We're
that.
also gonna put it in view of cameras. That was another thing, so if anybody vandalized it or did put something hateful, you know, that there would be,
I'm surprised you're not making an
Awareness.
app instead of a.
well, we kinda like the it's like power to the
Yeah, I do
people.
too, I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's electronic world, you know, I'm just.
Yeah, it's public art.
Yeah.
We're into
Yeah.
objects in space,
And there's
in the
one other thing, if
places.
we were gonna do a veterans mural, I think it would be important to contact the American Legion Post to see if they wanna be part of that.
Yes, we,
Thelma's that got all that covered.
yes, so we talked about also the art room.
Yeah, Warrior Art Room, we
Warrior
connect
Art
with
Room.
them, and then Tom Campbell, who's on the Veterans Council. They do a coffee hour every Tuesday, and they're kinda all the vets go. I don't go because I'm not a vet, but they all go and collaborate, so they're all connected.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we would definitely reach
Good
out to
point.
the
Yeah.
community and it would be a collaboration.
You know, Thelma was very adamant about having a female component to it. A lot of that gets missed
Sure.
sometimes when, you know, these public displays of art for the vets. Throw the girls in there somewhere.
Yeah, so that's the public art update.
Great. All right, now there's the ECA fundraiser.
ECA fundraiser, so Tracy and I were running a little bit late because we were just coming from the planning meeting. We brought together Ellen Coteen, Denise Riggs, and Marlise Stoddard, who are three of the founding members of Easthampton City Arts, and they've
Wow.
all stayed very involved throughout the 20 years. And we just had a great first meeting. And we were just kind of looking at the overview. We kind of like opened up a lot of new conversations, and we're meeting again 1 week from today at 4 to kind of like with a goal of really coming up with a structure that we can then all fill in and populate. But we talked about the film idea. They were very
Or a
receptive.
slideshow.
Slideshow,
media, yeah.
some kind of, and they were all really excited about it, and so we're gonna talk more about that
Yeah,
too.
good.
So are you open to ideas for a fundraiser? Cause I did a lot of work in that area.
I think
just
that
gonna go?
we've actually been talking about it since the spring,
Okay.
and so, yeah, I think maybe after
Yeah, not
the
this
next
minute.
meeting.
Yeah,
we will have a structure in place,
Okay.
and then we might have just a little more clarity around what we're doing. There's a lot of history of ECA fundraisers,
yeah.
and we haven't had one since 2019. And so it feels very important to pull upon a lot of that history because it's a 20th anniversary celebration.
So.
And all these people, and Tracy too, sorry. Tracy was there too. I think I said that anyway. But I just mean like bringing in some of that history and organizational.
Just keep pinging you,
memory.
because I do have some cool ideas that make good money.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Send them
Yeah.
my way.
Okay.
Okay, well, that leads us to future programming, and this is where you come in, Bonnie.
Oh, right.
So, we have Bonnie here. She is wanting to talk to us about an idea she has for an event. And so without further ado, we will give the floor over to Bonnie.
So, I mean, the other reason too, Trace, that I'm here is I do wanna apply at some point. I wanted to see how you guys run these
Okay, yeah,
meetings and,
absolutely.
because it's a little different than what I'm used to, but now I'm a good learner, so.
Okay, yeah.
Does everybody have one? I got more down here if you want. I don't know if she wants one in the back, she's
Well, should
perfectly,
you want one?
perfectly welcome to one.
And I think we met Bonnie.
I know, I recognize your face, yeah. So, it was exciting, and I want to thank Pascalina. It was exciting to meet with her on July 31st. She was very enthusiastic about this concept and kind of set this all up, and so I'm really excited, and thank you, Pascalina. I just want to let you guys know, nothing here is in stone. This is just concepts because I can't shut my mind. So they're very flexible. I'm like a little percolator, okay? So I did do a fairy festival in Portsmouth, New Hampshire in 2002. That's where all this came from. I went to Ireland 6 times, and I've been to Fairy Glens. And so I got inspired when I got back, and we did this fairy house tour. So it's like going out to look for new property to buy, but it's fairy houses, and they're this big. So it's really fun. The community involvement's great, and all different levels can get involved. So that's the point. The mission for me in the festival here and bringing it to Easthampton, I don't have kids. I need to have some joy through kids in my life and just joy in general. This kind of event brought a lot of, like, just picture the little kid looking, are they in there? You know, the little fairy houses. So it really is a cool event to bring a lot of joy. That's my goal. Magic, fun. It hits all the different poetry, literature, music, dance. It hits all the different arts, and I wanted the theme to be I believe. I think it's important to have some kind of theme for events because it gives people something to kind of focus on, and you'll see why I picked that later on as I get through these slides. I'm not going through all this and how I went through Fairy Glen and almost stepped in cow poop, and you can read that on your own, but just suffice it to say my inspiration came from that. I did 2 social media pings out there to call for volunteers, just 2. I had 40 people get back to me who wanted to volunteer on the committee, 40. Then I had 10 emails a day of people, I want to vend, I want to perform. Everybody loves it. It's like really unexpected for me. I was like, wow, this is going to be great. So I kind of I'm a TQM charts girl, just what it could look like. Again, nothing's in stone. We are going to go after, and this is what got Pasqualina got fired up, the Guinness Book of World Records for the most people dressed as fairies in one location. It's 878. So we're going to make that a component and a leg of the, and then she and I kind of had the same thoughts about getting places like CLI. And I've been having a hard time trying to get a hold of him. And she's like, oh, I can connect with him. I'm like, great. And then I'm getting a hold of like Easthampton Theater and all these other community organizations that want to be a part of it. And the one that freaked me out the most, I guess, in a good way, was, I don't know if you guys know Spiderwick Chronicles. I had no clue. Don't have kids, don't know what they are, but the author's wife called and said, I want to do a book signing. Do you have a date? Nope, I don't have a date. She goes, well, you know, if he comes, that's going to be a lot of people that's going to come. I'm like, okay, and I'm like not even knowing her. I'm like, okay, being nice, but then I looked it up. He's an award, yeah, huge is right. He's an award-winning movie maker. So that in and of itself was very cool as a outcome of this. But what I wanted to say to you, Pasqualina, is that I really listened when I put this together, because you said that one of the things that we struggle with is getting all the different neighborhoods involved. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about. One is the Fairy House Art, and this your public art people would be loving this too. It's called the Fairy House Artist Invitational. We did this in Portsmouth. So we put a call out to high-end, artists. And we say, okay, we're going to only accept 15 fairy houses that you guys build, and we're going to put them around the community. Now, I lived in Portsmouth, and it's very similar to Easthampton. So if you go to page 8, this is the map of our community, and this is the map that we did in Portsmouth with the fairy houses. So I could see it just very easily being plunked in. So once there's only 15 entries. Everybody goes the day before. It's like they go on tour and go look at all the entries. We get judges involved, special guests. So someone gets the grand prize blue ribbon, they win something, we could get creative there. So that's a big community involvement thing, and they love that. It was like prestigious to win. It was the big kahuna. If you won that as an artist, you were kind of all set. The galleries wanted you, everybody wanted you. So that component would be quite interesting here in Easthampton, very similar. And then this one, the scavenger hunt, is something I did I'm a marketing geek. This is something I did for a client in Munson, Mass. But I could see this happening here, so Willy Wonka's Golden Ticket, we would do golden rocks, but you could also do a little workshop of fairy rocks. And then you plunk them all over the neighborhoods and people find them and they're excited and they bring them to the fairy festival. It's like I found it, I won, and it's really, really, really fun for them. So that's another way to present this. I mean, there's a million ways to Sunday. And of course, these were all the performers. Oh, and I also got contacted from Eric Carlisle, the Picture Book Museum. They called me. 10, 15 emails a day. I'm like, wow, where are the good ones coming in? It's really fun. And then the other thing that I think that is like a given is just food trucks. Oh, and this one guy that contacted me who owns a food truck, he says, I'll make fairy food. I'm like, well, what is that? But okay, we can do fairy food. You got fairy donuts?
I don't, but we could.
Okay, yeah, so a lot of people.
They're fairy size.
Yeah, a lot of people are being very creative, flexible. It's an innocent concept, it's a fun concept. Oh, and the other big people that contacted me is, they call it Eyes on Owls. They're a wildlife demonstration and it's all saved owls. So I kind of copied on that and I talked to the guy from my Nod Knock Falconry and he's willing to come as well too. So it's like science, nature, now that's even cool because the environment too. So there's another leg to this that could be born. And then my favorite part of it, this is something I came up with for here. Portsmouth didn't do this, it's the I Believe Scholarship. Every time I say it, I wanna cry. Cause I wanna give it to somebody who didn't think they could ever go to school or didn't think they could ever go to art school or be a electrician, I don't know, but someone who's deserving and I'd love to raise money and give that to somebody. So, yeah, and how can you guys help? Well, give me blessing to go start a committee, I guess, support me, love me, I'll report back. Be part of it if you want. You guys look like you got a lot going on. But I just kind of fell in love with you and how you support the arts, and I'm just glad to be here anyway, Ken, and I want to be part of my town, I want to do things with my town. So, yeah, so feedback, questions?
On the art, like in Portsmouth, the artists create the fairy houses and then install them,
Yeah.
Okay, they're not like done on site, they're like.
Sometimes they have to, because sometimes there's certain sections that have good trees that would be good in little nuggets and holes to do, so people would request. Everything's done typically the Friday morning before, and then Friday afternoon is when people take the tour. So everything's gotta be installed by Friday noon, and then, yeah. So it's a little bit of pre-installation and a little bit of, don't drop it, yeah, but some of these were like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what people come up with. They're different levels and it's crazy cool. And the best part out of this whole thing is giving me purpose. I am handicapped, I fell and hurt my back, I'm in chronic pain every day. So it's giving me purpose. And the 40 people that contacted me via email, oh my God, I'm going back and forth with them and getting them excited. In fact, if anybody's interested, September 27th, we're gonna go up to Grafton, Vermont, and they have a fairy house festival. We're gonna take a road trip. See how they do it? And I called the guy who runs it, and he's like, come on up, I'll tell you everything. People in Vermont, they're very kind. So, yeah, so anyway.
Awesome. Oh, it's very cool.
Yeah. Has anybody ever been to a fairy festival?
It wasn't a festival, but I just got back from Maine and there were trails up there and all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, they're like these little magical moments happening.
Did you see
And
them?
I don't know who was doing
near
it.
Old Orchard Beach?
This was up on an island, it was Swan's Island, and I was like,
Oh, yeah, they're up
kids are
there.
building the or adults, or they're out there, and they're just, but there's no advertising, it's just like you stumble upon it.
Go online and just pull up pictures of real fairy pictures and you'll see just like you see it, they're long legs, arms. Yeah, so we're all going up to Vermont in Fairy Wings. Oh, and it's gonna be a blast. And everything has to be done with all natural materials, no plastics.
okay.
It's huge. No plastics, they can use glue, like, gotta let them put, some people don't, but we gotta let them use some kind of glue, yeah. So, yeah, it's fun. And then Arcadia's offered to do a Fairy House workshop a couple weekends before. I got 2 other people that will teach the workshops. One is the Drakey Soul on Main Avenue in Sisu Wellness. That's where I'm having my first kickoff meeting for these 40 people, which is next Saturday. Yeah, so I'm
Amazing.
going anyway, with or without you, but I want the with.
Do you have,
Well, oh, go ahead.
do you have a site in mind for the the festival itself?
I have a couple that I've plotted through my head. I mean, Nonotuck Park would be fun because you could do different sections. Like there's some festivals that have the healing tree or the wishing tree, so that's one section. The psychics and mediums and all them, they like to have their own section, the hawk. So Nonotuck would be cool. You could do it at Mill Pond. There's definitely, it's a smaller festival. I go big or go home, so someone's gonna have to rein me back. But yes, I could do it there. Depends on how everything pans out. But is there any other places that I'm missing that?
I mean, I think Nonotuck Park would be
Yeah.
great, because
Wouldn't that
it's
be
got the
cool?
woods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right? How fun. Yeah. And then we could also do the day of the festival. We could have little mini workshops for people who didn't get to build a fairy house. We can absolutely, have them experience it. But yeah, that would be. What does it cost to rent Nonotuck Park? Or is that, if you guys got involved, would it be free?
Yeah, if it was a city event, it would be different. But there's a permit fee, but it's not necessarily renting it, I wouldn't say. I don't know, we'd have to talk
John
with John
Mason.
Mason about it, yeah.
My buddy.
I think most people rent like picnic areas
Well, there's
and
like a
that kind of-
pavilion,
Pavilion,
there's
yeah.
pavilion rental, but if it was like a
Whole
Big
thing.
event,
Yeah.
I think it would be great to have it there. I really do. It'd be a lot of fun to plot out, make a map of the different areas, and then just coming up with the naming convention. I tried not to go there. I'm trying to hold back, but some people use amethyst and they use all these cool things. Some people put Shire on the end of everything. I mean, there's no rules, so it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. But it's family, and that's what I think is cool, that it hits all ages and all the different, art and music. And oh my God, I got belly dancers, hula hoop people, crazy cool band. We have a pirate band that contacted me.
Interesting.
I actually talked to them. I'm like, hi. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. Yeah, they were pretty nice. They're pretty cool. Because you never know when you need a pirate band, right?
Pirate Fairy.
thing to have in your back pocket,
Yeah.
I was at the Franklin County Fair all weekend, and there was a pirate Dan.
Oh, maybe it was them, because
Just one guy though, it wasn't a band, but
Oh,
he
okay.
did perform. I don't think he sang.
okay.
He had a stage though.
Yeah, there's a lot of walking performers. They just walk around. Those are fun. Of course, there's stilt walkers and all that. But I only did that 2 little campaigns on like 3 or 4 Easthampton page Facebook. That was it. And I'm like, whoa, it was like a shoot. So it's cool.
Yeah, like a little mini Renaissance festival.
Yeah.
that is what,
Yeah.
that is what it reminds, that draws people from
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah, if you want big, call it that, but if we want to just start at a community level, I wouldn't call it that if I were you, because there are people that are cosplay, they're really
Oh,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, I was just saying
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah.
mind, just
Well, that's
what you're
good,
talking
yeah.
about, yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought about, parking and, police, you're gonna have to, all the things that we had to do in Portsmouth, and just like plug and play, but.
Yeah.
So how does the process work? So I pitched this to you.
Yeah, well,
Then you guys chat and have hot cocoa and all that.
well, I think first and foremost, I just really appreciate your enthusiasm and dedication and care. Like, a lot of care has gone into all this, and
And I'm holding
it's
back.
covered a lot of ground. I know, and you've done a really good job, like being very succinct and like
Yeah.
getting this all together. So we always really appreciate when people not just share ideas, but really invest in them and come and share them with us.
Good.
And just from like when we first were in touch to now, you've covered so much ground, and it's amazing that there's so much receptivity like right away.
Yeah, it's
So like
mind-blowing.
congratulations
Thank you.
on that, because it could go, we never know how these things will go. And so it's funny because I had mentioned Porch Fest to you.
Yes.
Steve and Felicia are the founders of Porch
Oh,
Fest.
cool.
And they're the community members who had come to me like, hey, we have this idea, we could do it on our own, we could do it together.
Nice.
And so I think that there's not like a right way to do, I mean, it's what we all choose,
Yeah.
but Porch Fest has like, we started together for 2 years, and then this year coming up, it'll be its first year as its own independent.
All right,
Yeah,
so it evolved.
because it is
Yeah.
evolved,
Yeah.
and the reason, one of the primary reasons for that is that we realized that our municipal, I'll call them constraints, like guidelines
I'm in
became
fifth gear.
constraints.
Like, come on, you guys.
Like
Yeah.
Porch Fest,
Yeah.
if Porch Fest could grow like it wants to grow,
Right.
it's gonna sprawl out way beyond ECA's capacity to manage that.
Right.
When it comes to public safety, when it comes to paying artists, there would be a limit on how many artists we could have. But if
Right.
everyone's doing it, on their own, then it's like limitless.
Right.
So I think one of the things, like ECA can be a great resource. So like, let's say you continue to do this independently. ECA could absolutely spread the word. We reach more than 10,000 people through our channels.
Right.
And like I get these little Instagram, like from Instagram alone, it's like 30,000 plus views a month.
Wow, that's
Like
great.
we reach a lot of people, there are a lot of shares. So we're very connected locally and regionally. And not just for the event itself, but like calling all artists, or like there's this thing at Arcadia, like we could really help, and we
Yeah.
would just wanna do that, like for
Yeah.
a community event that involves arts and culture, all this community education that you're talking about is like all the things we love to promote. So just as a base, like I think, it's exciting, it would be great, it would bring people to Easthampton and engage people in meaningful ways. So I think,
My
I'm
fear-
supportive, we're supportive.
I should have put this in here.
Let me just say one
Yeah.
last thing. But I think ECA can be great when like someone has an idea that needs help.
Yeah.
But you're like light years ahead of where we were on July 31st. Like we were just having a chat.
I know.
And now it's like, wow,
I can't
there's
shut
been
up
all
my
this.
head. It just
But
does not.
that's great. And I
Yeah.
guess I'm just saying to you, Nicole LaChapelle, our former mayor, had said that there are ways to become your own committee.
She's the one that told me to do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
she did. Yeah.
And that's an option to do that. And I almost think, like, you saw me, like, I was very excited, there's
Yeah.
a lot of potential. But hearing how quickly things are able to evolve, like, we meet once a month. Things happen slowly in our world.
Yeah, once a month
Very
wouldn't cut it.
slowly.
Yeah, but here's my fear, Pascalina. I'm a chronic pain patient. I can't do this alone. Some days I have to be in the recliner all day. That's my fear. I got these 40 people, but they don't really own it. My fear of owning it and then not being able to walk. That's why I came to the town, to get that support, to get those people that also own it in case I'm down for the count because of my medical stuff. I don't know, I know I couldn't do it. I mean, I had a good couple of weeks, I guess, but I've already done this before too, and I've already been excited about this for a long time, so I've written all this stuff down and I'm a research queen, but that's my fear, is I need like a team of 6 to 8 people that are like, you know what, don't worry, if you're down, we got you.
So you're meeting with this group of 40 people on Saturday?
The 13th, yes, Saturday the 13th. So I'm gonna be asking them, so I'm gonna be creating subcommittees by topic. Food, dance, performance, common makes sense, common. I'm gonna say, okay, I need leaders for all these subcommittees.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to do it in manufacturing. This is what I did. So I know how to do this, but I can't own this by myself. There's a big fear in me. And that's brutally honest.
Yeah, and I appreciate
So,
that.
yeah,
Being
so
so
yes,
honest.
Saturday the 13th, we're CSU Wellness Center. She's got this huge space that I can use. So we're gonna meet, and part of the agenda is to create these subcommittees. And, you know, I've talked to some people that have kind of like, oh, okay, they could be a good leader. And I've asked one girl who's very, very empowered. She started her own business. She loves fairies. She's her and her daughter do fairy portraits. So she's already agreed to be a leader of something. She didn't even care. But I need about 10 more people like that.
Yeah.
But I don't, like Thelma walked away. That was my disappointment with Thelma. Because there was a task I asked her to do that was part of something that she signed up for. She said, I'm not into tutus. I don't want to call people to see where we can get wholesale tutus, because one of the requirements is you have to have a tutu for the Guinness. So I'm like, oh, you're gonna decide what you want to do and not want to do? So she just went, gotta go by Sia.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
I'm sorry that happened.
I don't want it to
And
get-
working with people, yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah,
that is
the
part
fear.
of the reality.
yeah.
Is
right.
that people's lives change, people's minds change, doesn't always make sense to us, but
I
like,
understand,
yeah.
and I'm okay with it,
yeah,
but when it's just you and that person,
yeah. So it sounds like, I mean, my sense is that, well, I don't know. Do people have, I mean, just when we think about ECA and our current landscape and our, you know, the events on our calendar, do people have, I mean, I'm always concerned about capacity. The last thing I would wanna do is that we all take this on and then we're spread very thin. Like, we have been spread very thin in the past, and I think we've all worked really hard. Like, this idea of enrichment and like doing what we do better
yeah.
has been
She's back.
very central for the last number of years, and I think we've done a really good job at that for the, you know, we're always spread thin, but it's like reasonably so.
mean,
So
if
I
I
wouldn't
stay
wanna
the way I
commit to
am-
something and then not be able to like show up. I mean, as Porch Fest grew and grew, that's how I started to feel, is like I could only do so much.
But when you started Porch Fest, was it part of ECA?
It was, but I mean, we had a really great experience and we couldn't have done Porch Fest without ECA. But the limitation of ECA is, as you said, that we
Speed.
meet once a month.
Yeah.
And that's why there was too much that had to go on in between meetings,
Right.
that like this structure didn't really
Not
work
work.
for that.
Yeah, can I ask you a question though, just as a group? So is there such a structure when, yes, you meet once a month, but do you get to empower people and say, go do it and report back each month? We trust you, go do it.
We do have some, you know, communities, like we've got a fundraising committee for this gala event that we're putting on. When were you wanting to do the festival? I mean, that's, you know, were you wanting to do it this year or next year?
Next year.
Next year.
Oh,
Like
God, not this year.
No, well, I just want to
Yeah,
make
20
sure.
Because remember we talked, we
Wait, do you
said
mean 2026?
2026,
Spring of
September.
that's right, September 2026.
Yeah.
So usually what happens is there can be some planning committees, but we are a small committee, so we would, you know, need to sometimes we get people from the community to join. It sounds like you are on the path to doing this, like, I'm just wondering if you have your meeting with the 40 people,
Mhm.
and you figure out what is happening and kind of going, okay, who is showing up?
Yeah,
Who can help?
Right.
Maybe that will answer your question. Maybe you'll be like, okay, I have a strong crew
yeah.
and I don't have to do this alone.
But I'm gonna be honest with
And we could be
them.
a partner versus actually taking on the whole event. I'm not saying we wouldn't, I'm just saying that could be a gauge.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, and I do see that, but I'm gonna be brutally honest with them as well and say, listen, I'm doing this because I need help.
Well,
And I
of course
can't
you
have
do. I
people
mean,
just
nobody could do this alone.
Walk away like that, but maybe that happened for a reason.
Yeah.
For me to put processes in place that it doesn't happen, I kind of see maybe hook up with you guys for a couple of years and then I go have my own relationship out there by myself afterwards. That's kind of like how I saw it.
I think something that feels a little different or just important to clarify, and this is new for me, so I'm kind of finding my words here. Like, and Porch Fest really is a great example, because it really it happened in the same way, like the same sequence. But ECA, and part of that is me,
Right.
was very involved in crafting the whole vision. Like, if this is an ECA event, like an ECA event like Cultural Chaos is, like Art Walk is, anything like that, we would need to really be a central part of like creating the vision and implementing it.
Why?
Because we're an organization.
Yeah. But maybe.
And if it's our event, we need to be a part of those things happening. There are lots of events that happen in Easthampton that are not ECA events. The parade that everybody loves in October.
Yeah, truck parade.
No.
It's in October.
Oh, you.
Rag Shack.
The Rag Shack, like that.
yeah.
Sorry, I laughed.
Well,
I have
yeah.
a child, so
Yeah.
my default is.
But maybe
There's
there's
Winterfest.
There's Winterfest,
There's all
there's-
kinds of things that.
Like, there's lots of things, there's Mill Pond Live, the concerts, like, there's all this stuff going on. We promote it, we're so happy about it, but we're not involved in, like, the vision of it. And that's where I feel like it's almost already, even though it's still new and, like, in development, like, even in the last month and a half, 2 months, it's like, it's evolved a lot. And as someone who, I've worked in a number of organizations, it would, learning after the fact, like what happened or what it's gonna be is not, I don't think it's like, from a capacity standpoint, I don't think it's it's the most sound way to like create a new event. And like with everything else we have
I can
going
see
on.
that, yeah.
So it doesn't feel responsible in a way if
Let me
we
explain
can't
something.
truly support it.
My world that I come from is very much a team-driven work team type thing. And project teams, and then there's work teams. So there's a hierarchy, the steering committee, that these teams all report to. The mission is made by the steering committee, and then they go, poof, go do it. Sometimes they're involved, it's just a different level of empowerment. You decide. If you want to meet with me every day, that's fine, and be part of it, great. That's one way to do it. And there's also, go do it, and I trust you, and come back. So it's all the level of empowerment. So your structure is your structure, and that's it? It doesn't have any other recipe? I'm curious,
I just think it's confined because it's a municipal entity and committee. There's certain parameters that they have to operate within and certain responsibilities and obligations.
Can you give me an example?
Well, I think Cultural Chaos is a good example, just because it's the biggest event, but there's so much planning that goes into it and the liability and the, public perception and just everything that it, like, you have to have a direct hand in the day-to-day so that if something goes wrong, you know why it went wrong and you're able to take accountability for it and try and make sure that it doesn't happen. Or, you know, there was a lot that went into this year's that I witnessed, so that's just why it keeps coming to mind. There's just so much logistics, and to Pascalina's point of like needing to know in advance of what all those logistics are is important.
So do you have the bandwidth to work with someone on a more than once a month basis?
It's not about, go ahead, Ted.
No, go ahead, I'm just muttering to myself.
Cute.
Like, so for Cultural Chaos, we meet once a month starting in January. And then starting in April, it's every 2 weeks. And then in like May, it's like once a week. And there it is daily. Like every day I'm working on Cultural Chaos, you know, for months. It's like hundreds and hundreds of hours. There was a whole public safety component that was new this year that required the coordination of many leadership teams within the city. There that day at the event, people don't know. Those monthly events with police, fire, DPW, met with parks, health department, started in January. Like, so, and the thing is too, so much about what we do at ECA is about relationships. It's about community relationships. So it's not really about, I wouldn't characterize it as like not trusting someone. I think there's a tremendous amount of trust. Like, I am the one.
Trust because of empowerment. That's why I'm using.
I feel like people take the lead. This meeting today, like these 3 people are now doing work between now and next Monday when we're meeting again. Cultural Chaos. People are out doing stuff. But I think it's very, fundraising. We're asking for money from local groups. This is going to require funding. Like, there's just a lot of coordination. So I think, like, I'm very excited about the idea. I think it will be very good for Easthampton. I think, like, the level of excitement you're getting right away from barely scratching the surface is very indicative. It's like a little litmus test of like, aha, like, wow. I think there's a lot to that. My sense is that it feels too big and already too developed for us to really take on in the way I think you're asking. Like, for it to be an ECA event, it feels like it's like I said the same thing to Steve and Felicia when we talked last year, like, ECA is gonna keep this smaller than it wants to be. There's been talk about Cultural Chaos being open till the nighttime or being a 3-day festival or a weekend, and our capacity is just like, we cannot do that. Like, it is very clear.
I don't want to own this alone. I'm not doing it.
I don't know how other people feel. That's my sense.
We're all excited, I'm excited about the event. I think it's a great event, and I don't want to discourage you at all. I do hear what Pascalina is, because my sense is the fundraising component is huge. Just that alone. If we're doing Cultural Chaos, which is our biggest event, and we're starting in January, that event happens in June, and then we're simultaneously working toward another, possibly even bigger event that is happening in September. I just don't know the overlap, just those 2 events alone. And because it's a small community, how do we ask the same businesses simultaneously for, you know, like, or the same sponsors? So it's a little tricky in that way. However, I do think that you don't have to do it alone. If you have, I'm excited that
Yeah.
you have these 40 people. That's
I know, but
amazing.
I don't wanna own it by myself, period, end of story.
So the idea, I thought that Mayor LaChapelle's idea of forming a committee, like Nashawanek Pond has a committee and they do Winterfest as like a initiative of that committee. I think this could be like a touchstone Easthampton event, like
What do you mean by that?
like a destination event, like something that people.
Yeah, oh, big time.
Big time.
Yeah,
So I think if you were to become a city committee, and I could help you, I would learn a lot too. I don't know what that process looks like, but that's something I would absolutely can help with that. I think the nice thing about that is that it bakes a structure in, right? You have your members. So now it's not just like, are these people gonna show up at the meeting on Saturday?
right.
It's like, no, they're
Part of
like,
the
look at
committee.
us,
Yeah.
like, here we are.
Yeah,
And there are minutes and there are rules,
Yep.
and then people are investing themselves into that.
right.
Then you could absolutely be meeting in between. You know, there's like the quorum thing and you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
So
It's
you
very
have
similar to
smaller
the team stuff I've
committees,
done, right.
and, you know, we have subcommittees and there are other member, you know, we have like this is a planning team with people who aren't around this table. So there are ways to do that. And, you know, if there's a municipal meeting in place, that means like we could join the meeting. We could get an update, like, you know, there could be a representative from ECA who comes to the meetings. We like for there to be a member of Nashawanek Pond Committee to come to our cultural chaos
Yeah,
planning
makes
meetings
sense.
starting in January, that there's a connection there. We like for there to be, like sometimes I'll attend an Easthampton Cultural Council meeting because I want to hear what's going on or I want to share something there. So I'm just I'm kind of like reflecting back a little bit. I don't want my hesitation about taking it on as an ECA event to in any way indicate I don't think it's a fabulous idea and want it to happen and like be all it can be. I really mean that. And I wouldn't say it if I did not feel that way. But I think me being hesitant to take on an event this big right now, it would be irresponsible to ECA. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
not
I just
simple.
reflect back on the conversation we had downstairs, and I
Yeah.
said to you, well, you know, we could do it in 2027, and you're like, no, let's do it in
I know, I got very
2026. So
I was
guided a little bit.
Yeah, I hear that. And I was excited. I do
Right.
get excited. Everybody here knows I can become very excited.
Now I know.
And I
Don't do that
said,
again.
we have to talk to the committee.
Yeah.
And I do want to say that a lot of development has happened since then.
It was already done. There. I've got about 1 million more things.
No, that's what I'm saying. And
Right.
that's the part that makes me a little nervous
Okay.
because I think it's like, I don't know how we could run an event that's kind of happening already.
Well, but let's just back up for a minute.
And
None of
we'll
this
wait
is-
till-
Before
yeah.
we go further, it's 6:30.
Okay.
I want to be
I don't know if
mindful
you
of
wanna continue.
everybody's
Yep.
time. We have some other things on the agenda that we're pressing. So-
Just like, what's the process going forward now? What happens now?
I think, I mean, I would like to hear what happens with your planning meeting with your potential committee members.
Right.
And see where you feel, how you feel after that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could report back to us. I mean,
At
you
the
might
next
get like.
meeting? At our next
At the
meeting?
next meeting, if you can, and.
I could absolutely do
you know,
that.
and just, because you might meet 10 people that you
I
feel,
don't wanna own it. I'm
Well,
telling
I
you.
don't know what you mean by that,
Well-
because if you have a committee,
I'm more comfortable, but I didn't have a
So I
committee
think-
20 minutes ago. Now this suggestion I'm more comfortable with, I need to digest it. Listen, this is all new to me. I worked a corporate structure, which is very different to how you guys do municipal. So I'm learning.
yeah, well,
So-
we're learning
I
too,
think
yeah.
some of
To put it, oh, go ahead.
just some of the hesitation, at least for me, is so you say you don't wanna own it, but like you've done it. And you've already said that you've done it in Portsmouth, so it's like you are owning it, and one way or another, you're gonna own it. And so I'm very hesitant by the fact that you're looking for a partner to kind of like do your vision.
No, it's not my vision. It's, no, that's totally incorrect. Was brought to you as this is
an
one way to
inspiration.
do
Okay.
it.
Okay,
So,
that's
cause
fair.
if I just came here and said, let's do a fairy festival, you guys are like,
So when we
I had to
started,
put something together.
when we started Porch Fest, it was my lovely wife over there pitching before we became members of this committee, the idea of Porch Fest.
Right.
And then we worked with them and we started very small the first year. We only
Yeah.
had 6 houses. And it was very intentionally like simple and small. And we worked in conjunction with Pascalina and the committee to do that. I think this is, as you said, you go big or go home. That's what's here.
Well, in Portsmouth, it was small when we did it. It wasn't
I mean,
big.
there's a lot of facets to this.
Yeah,
Like
there
you could just break off your Artist Invitational.
Right.
And that could
There
be its-
one. Right,
And that
right.
could be something you do, in the spring to see, what the intention, the interest and to build interest. And if you like cut it off like that and do it in chunks, it might.
I'm open to everything. I wanted to present something. Like the first thing I said when we started is
No, and
this is not in stone.
this is great.
Right.
It is.
Right. I had to give you something to chew on.
Well, one thing I'm thinking of is that if you say you're gonna meet with these 40 people,
Yeah.
out of that meeting, you probably will have a core of people who will step up and say yes. So there you have your organization. Whether or not you're in charge or not, doesn't matter.
Right.
But there you will have your organization who will put this together
Right.
for itself.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's what I was saying.
As
Right.
we've been saying, we can't do that entirely because we just can't.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But when I walked in here, we didn't have that.
So there are other
Conversation.
parts here. We can support it, we can endorse it.
Right.
We can put it on the annual arts festival calendar.
Right.
All of that is easy to do.
Okay. So let me go
When it gets-
Saturday.
When it gets into assisting obtaining key headline acts, that gets a little tricky. Assist in obtaining sponsors and grants, that gets even trickier.
I know how to fundraise. I'm not worried about
They're not,
that.
grants are not fundraising.
I know what grants are.
A lot of grants that we get are through MCC, the Massachusetts Cultural Council.
I've
They
gotten
don't come
grants
with,
from
they don't
them.
necessarily come with strings, but they come from sources that are, that have, we access as an organization and as a municipality.
Yes, I understand. And that's one of
So
the
that-
reasons I wanted that connection. Like, okay, let me ask you this. So if you guys go to the Mass Cultural Council and say I go off and I do my committee and maybe we own it, can I go to the Mass Cultural Council as a separate entity?
You can go right now.
Because this is all different
You can go
structure.
as an individual, it is a really accessible organization for both individuals and organizations. I think that's exactly where it gets complicated. If it's under the umbrella of Easthampton City Arts, they are our primary funder for our
Yeah, but
program,
see, I don't wanna own it. I don't wanna go there as Bonnie getting money. That's the
Well,
problem.
you're gonna have.
But if
like
you
I
make
said,
a committee,
It's just the
Yeah.
committee, yeah.
I'm confident that you'll have people at that meeting
All right,
that are gonna
let's
find
table everything else
purpose
then, yeah.
step at a
from
time.
this
Yeah,
the
let's
same way
table-
that
okay,
you're.
I
One
see
step
that.
at a
I
time.
know.
And we're gonna talk again.
Yeah.
You're gonna let us know how the meeting went.
Right.
Okay, and then we're gonna be in touch, like, there's,
Developmental.
most towns don't have an ECA,
Right.
and here
Or
we are.
you.
And so we want this to be a success.
Yeah.
My saying, I don't think it's for ECA to take on right now, is because I want it to be a success. I think it's gonna not be what it wants to be.
Right.
So,
And you don't wanna do something
This
that not,
idea-
you gotta do it
like,
right.
you don't wanna own it, like, let it let you know how it's gonna work.
Okay, fair enough.
That, I would just, if that feels stressful, like,
Yeah.
you don't own it. You don't own it. I don't own cultural chaos. We don't even own, it belongs to the community. And I think if you can orient yourself like that,
Yeah,
like,
if I can think like
the
that,
Fairy Fest belongs
to the community,
to the community.
Got it.
And you are gonna
facilitate.
orient yourself
Right.
around
Facilitator,
listening
spearhead.
to what the community is gonna want. Why don't you go into Saturday's meeting as a listener?
Yeah, love it. I already bought the flipcharts,
Sweet.
Guys,
brainstorm, all right,
I have
let's,
one observation, and this is, you're gonna be like, just do this, and there's
Oh,
probably
no.
a million rules against this, but like, is there any way that like the trailer for Fairy Festival couldn't be woven into cultural chaos in some way?
oh,
Sure,
I mean, just
that's
like,
part of the endorsement thing. We can help develop this
what
as
do you
it
mean
goes
the
along.
trailer,
like the
what do you say
trailer,
trailer?
like I don't know if you could do like, I mean, you know, like the part about the artists and the tour, and that could be a piece of, you know, the cultural
That's
chaos.
interesting.
I mean, yeah, this is
Yeah.
not made for stamped and out the door, it's got a lot of cool,
So it would be a
Elements.
real good way to introduce the idea. You could
Right.
have all the
Yeah,
Have a
promotional
booth. Yeah.
materials,
Have a booth.
a
Like
booth,
beautiful wings,
could be like
I mean, I just feel like a lot of people could.
wing
Yeah, yeah.
making.
Yeah. And then take the tour, here's the map,
That's
it's
cool.
across the pond.
Yeah,
I mean,
fine,
'cause
that's
I
fine
really
with
feel like
me.
There's such a good vibe.
Tutu
in cultural
making.
go ahead.
Wands, I'm really good at wands.
Yeah, wands are fun,
Well, I wanna kind of bring this back because we
sorry.
still have
I
a, you
didn't
know.
mean to dominate.
Don't be
we're
sorry, this was really great.
Really good.
I want you to leave feeling really, like, really proud of yourself. This is amazing what you're doing.
And come back and
No,
tell
I'm
us how.
excited, but it wasn't 20 minutes ago,
No,
just
we'll
saying.
tell it, come back.
We'll keep future programming on our agenda
Okay,
as a little placeholder. And why don't you let me know next week,
well, I wanna apply to be
the-
a part of ECA. Is that a conflict of interest? I always wondered that, is that, no?
not at all.
Okay, I'll go through the process,
No, we got
Someone who cares
Porchfest here,
about
they're
art
here.
and community.
okay.
Come to me at some point to apply.
Yeah,
She's a city councilor now, do you know?
yes.
Oh, wow, did not know that.
Yeah.
See,
She used to be on this committee,
and
but
that's
then she
just-
became a city
happens.
councilor
Wow.
and she's like, I'm too busy.
You have to look at us as a development partner. As it goes along, things come up, you solicit our, not advice, but our expertise, say, and we move it along.
Did you hear that, Bonnie?
I heard it,
Yeah,
I have a nice segue if you wanna,
segue away.
Okay.
into the cultural council
So,
report.
so
And I
we're
think-
gonna move on, and I think we're gonna have to like wrap up the meeting soon. So I think before we even move on to we'll do the Easthampton Cultural Council report. I think the other discussions have to go for the next. I'm sorry. It's just, it's almost 7:15, so. And the budget is a really, I don't wanna rush through that,
Okay.
So, you're gonna bring back what you've learned, but we're also gonna, you have this budget, conversation that really needs to be front and center next time, so we'll put that up at the top of the meeting,
Okay.
and then we can,
Sure.
check in with you if that's okay. All right, so Steve,
Just
give us a-
real quick from the ECC, and mine is relevant to you, on September 17th at the ECA Gallery in City Space, we are having an informational, a meeting for this cycle for the Easthampton Cultural Council grants.
Oh,
So it's
What date, sorry?
September 17th,
Okay, at the,
at the
at the
ECA Gallery.
ECA gallery.
okay.
so do you go there and what happens when?
So you can apply for these grants, it's actually now open if you go
Okay.
to easthamptonculturalcouncil.com, I think it's .com, to our website. And these are micro grants that go out every year to just anyone who are doing cool cultural projects and happenings, just like Fairy Fest in
there you go.
Easthampton. most of the grants are around $500, just to give you a sense of what
Yeah, I
we're
saw the
talking.
list of all
But
the
yeah, we had
grantees.
30 different projects last year on
Cat parade.
Cat Parade. So that is now open, and on the 17th, it's for anyone who
Okay.
wants, information about how to apply or help, etc.
Is that during the day, Steve?
6:30 at night,
6:30.
that evening.
So yeah, it's a good, certainly you're gonna need more than what we would be able to give you at ECC, but it is a start.
It's definitely a start.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Oh yeah, and that we're, in addition to our conversation that I walked in on about public art, we're also finalizing to do 2 more traffic control boxes, the one that is here and the one up the street. I wanna talk to you, Pasadena, because I'm having difficulty contacting or getting Greg to talk to me again about that. So.
The one on Union, or,
The one right
yeah, the
here,
one-
and then the one at Union and Main Street. Or-
yeah.
Okay.
Is there a
Well, no, we're
proposal?
just, we're redesigning the street, so it's
So
probably.
that-
They
No,
know,
we know
they know
about
it's
that,
coming
yeah.
down in a couple
Yeah.
years.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
he said that it had like 3 years, but I just wanted to reconfirm everything. We had a conversation at Cultural Chaos.
It's very much on his radar. He forwarded me your email, like
Okay.
wanted to make sure this is on your radar, which I really appreciated. And then he called me today and I was like, yes, we've been in touch. It's like going well, and so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
So
well,
you just wanna reconfirm details?
Yes,
with him?
essentially.
Okay. Yeah, we can help with that.
Mhm.
Cool, great. All right, we have one last update
One
and then
last
we're gonna
update.
wrap up this meeting.
I just wanna let everybody know that we went through the hiring process for the new community events and
Marketing person?
outreach coordinator. And we had 33 very qualified applicants for one position. We narrowed it down to 7 people. We did 7 interviews. We had 2 finalists of the finalists. And we offered it to our first choice and she accepted. And she came to Art Walk on Saturday and I made some introductions and she took a lot of great pictures. And we are meeting in the office on Wednesday afternoon to look at an agreement, to talk through all the logistics.
Great.
You wanna
Is
give
she
a name
full-time?
or?
Oh yeah, her name is Miriam,
Uh-huh.
Mariam, Habib, Habib. She gave us 3 references. They were all beyond so she's great. She has a lot of event experience. She works at the Parlor Room doing events stuff, and she also has a lot of experience with social media and Canva and really just
Sorry.
Habib,
HUBI.
HABIB. And she also just really has this real appreciation and understanding of the meaning and impact of community events. That it's yes, it's running an event, but it's what it means for people. And I just was really, thank you to Tracy and Steve and to Maud, who's not here, just for seeing the process through. I just thought it was really great. So, cool.
Awesome.
Yay, ECA.
All right, so
Thank you,
meeting's
everybody.
adjourned.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.